Okay, what I've got here is a geosphere. So if I press my F3, you can see my F4. You can see my edged faces, and that's just available here under the standard primitives. And what I've added to it is a 3x3x3 FFD. And to make it a funny shape, I've just gone into the control points and I've selected one or two. Just holding down control, I can grab a bunch of points and I can move them up or down or wherever I want to move them. What I'm going to do with that is I am going to use a box, which I've got here, and I'm going to use a script called Hyperclone to make that into a bunch of floor plates that are going to run through this building. Okay, so if I go into my top view, you'll see that my floor plates are bigger than my egg shape, and I'm going to just press G to turn off the grid. So where I would get Hyperclone from would be script spot, and I would type Hyperclone in camel case into here, and Hyperclone will come up and you can just download that. I keep mine in a folder here, so what I will do is just from Internet Explorer I can pull in Hyperclone into my drawing and it will install itself. Okay, so once that's done, I can then go to my modifiers and I can type in HY, and Hyperclone will come up. Hyperclone is very, very cool. I just set my number of clones here and my Z offset here. Clearly I can set a bunch of different clones in different directions, but for this we only need a 1D clone. And it goes in the opposite direction. So I might make my floor plates, let's say they're about 5 meters apart. Okay, if I go into my left viewport, you can see I've got too many floors. Just bring them down until my egg sort of points over the top. Maybe one more. And what I'm going to do is just move my egg slightly up so it just pokes above. Okay. So what I have called my egg shape that's going to drive the shape of my building, I've called it driver shape. And I need to come in here and I need to make 2 clones of it. So if I right click and I have clone, and the first one's going to be an instance because it is going to be the floor plate shape. And then I'm going to come back up here, select the driver shape again, right click and clone, but this time I want a reference copy, and that is going to be the glazing or the glass. Alright, so once I've done that I can turn off the driver shape and I can turn off the glazing. All I want to work with is the floor plate shape and the floor plates. So selecting the floor plates, I can come into my compound objects, which is under the create panel, standard primitives, compound objects, and 3ds Max's new booleans are pretty cool. So we've got them here, and what we can do is we would like to do an intersection. Come down here and choose intersection, add the operand, and we're going to add our egg shape. And there we've got our pretty nice looking floor plates there. So just click back on there to get out of there. What I now want to do is turn on my glazing. And onto the glazing I'm going to need to put some sort of material, sort of glass type material, but I've also got coplanar faces where the edges are pointing out of the building, so I'm going to inset it a bit. So taking my glazing and going to my modifier stack and adding a shell. I only want an inner amount, so that can be 0, and that can be, I don't know, 1, probably less than 1, probably 0.5 or something. And just down the bottom here, I want to select the outer faces. I can come in here now and add a delete mesh. And what that's done is it's left me with sort of an inset egg shape. I'd come in here and I would add a material to that. For this particular circumstance, I'm going to use just a scanline material. So that's just under scanline here. You can just do this. This is standard. Turn your opacity down to, I don't know, 20 or something. And increase specular and increase glossiness probably. And then that just gets applied to the glazing. Could probably make it a pretty colour. Pretty coloured glass. And then you've got something that has floor plates and glazing. You just ignore this stuff down the bottom here, and that's it.